How's it going, guys? Back again with a bit of a different game. Well, same game, but a big 3v3 fight this time. Still sticking to Total War, but another Tomb Kings game to upload. One where I went a little bit different. I went a bit wider, brought sort of skeleton archers, Nekahara horsemen, carrion, and a lot of Tomb Guard. If I'm honest, I thought I'd go for a bit more of a heavy line to hold. Knowing because sort of I expected Black Hawks to go quite decent infantry wise. Tzeentch has got some good infantry choices, and you know I expected Zargard or even the armoured Kossars. So we'll slow it down while I pick. This is an extremely long game, so we'll fast forward for a little bit because it went on for quite a while. I brought Kartep on his Casket of Souls. I like the artillery option. And then, as you can see, Tomb Guard halberds, Tomb Guard halberds, normal Tomb Guard, Chosen of the Gods. Big fan of those, they did well for me last time. And then hiding the Khepra Guard in there. Nekahar Horseman, double Skeleton Archers, double Carrion. And then just some simple troops up front, Skeleton Warriors, Skeleton Spearmen. Just to sort of hold the line. And if I'm honest, just to take the shots. So my ally, when I've never seen this used before, the Snowhorn. Not sure if it's any good, but definitely wins on style points. Noblar Scrap Launcher, and then you know Lead Belchers, Man-Eaters, Iron Guts, Slaughtermasters. I could have thought he probably should have gone with a few more balls just to bulk out his front line. Not got many units whatsoever. And then, you know, we've got a Nurgle player running Toad, Chosen, some Chaos. Oh, we do have some Ogre Balls hiding over here, so that's nice. Gorgeous hiding there. And then double Soul Grinder. A big fan of this Nurgle strategy, especially with Kugath. As long as they don't get shut down early, they do some ungodly amounts of damage. So, starting off, as you can expect, it's just a little bit of posturing, moving units up, getting Kartep sort of in range. Obviously, I can't see the Night Goblins because they're all hiding. Typical Goblin player. Cool models though, and then I start to move up because I sort of want to start getting some shots into the Zargard and then the Streltsy just to sort of wear them down. So we move up, get in range. Now I've not used Kartep before, so I did check sort of what his damage was like against artillery, and then I realised that in all fairness it probably wasn't really worth my time. So I thought I'd go back into the sort of infantry. We're going to move up a little bit, fast forward. As you can see, my ally went ham way before me. He really should have sort of sat back and allowed Nurgle to get the shots off, but he just runs in. You know, losing the Gorges straight away. A bit overzealous, if I'm honest. But, you know, we'll wait and see. Like I said, there is going to be quite a bit of fast forward in this game. It was like 20 odd minutes long. I'll explain more to why it was that long later on. You know, with Pepper and the Zargard, he's bringing the Snow Leopards up because he thinks he can get sort of a free catch on a skeleton. I bring the Chosen, the Gods out, and I also bring, you know, the skeleton archers on horses, just to poke down the Snow Leopards and get a little bit of damage into them. But as you can see, you know, I'm making it so realistically he has to come to me. You know, he's noticed that now he's got to bring his units up. He doesn't want to keep getting pummeled. You know, even if he manages to get in range to shoot some skeleton spearmen, it's going to be a loss on his behalf because I'm just going to be able to do way more damage, especially when you look. We're already, you know, 300 gold. Not bad, just off sort of, not used any magic yet. Just getting the shots in. He retreats the Snow Leopards. I bring my cavalry back onto this side. And then I'll keep pushing up. So again, a bit more posturing. As you can see, my Ogren player, I'm not going to lie, he gets absolutely destroyed. And I think probably about the first couple of minutes, he ends up just rage quitting. You know, maybe he hasn't played Ogres a lot and he wanted to get a bit of a feel for him and he's made a bit of a mistake. What I can recommend if you want some builds, some things that, you know, tried and tested, There's plenty of Total War YouTubers, like the likes of Turin and stuff like this, who have a lot more of a tournament sort of background. So he's got a lot of different builds on his page from different games that will show you real competitive builds. You know, he does some amazing tournaments, can't praise him enough. You know, we start to move up now. The Tomb Guard, the Khepra Guard are here as well. And, you know, as you can see, they're taking a fair amount of damage. You know, they're chosen the gods of Pepper and the Streltsy as well. If it would tell me how much they've made. You know, 400 gold. That's the first squad done a lot of damage to. And really, they're just shooting into squads of 160 men of spearmen. You're talking 300 gold's worth of value. Really not worthwhile for him. Start moving on to the next squad of Streltsy. As you can see, you know, he just lost nearly 20 Streltsy off that bombardment alone. The only thing I do recommend is I could have been moving, you know, Kartep up a little bit because he's really far behind now. If he had managed to, say, sneak both Snow Leopards up through the forest and round the back and hit Kartep when he's by himself, there wouldn't have been much that I could have really done. You know, as you can see here, the skeletons, they're getting murdered by the Zargard, but really that's what their plan was to. You know, the Tomb Guard should get in there and about to fare a little bit better. And the Khepra Guard, I got them away from the Zargard into the Armoured Kossars on the side, and they're going to absolutely destroy these Armoured Kossars. You know, if you keep an eye on them, they just go to town straight away, chopping through them. Absolute immense. You know, you see the damage they're taking, they're just regenerating that. Absolutely insane. One of the best squads on the Tomb Guard roster, in my opinion, that I've had the joy of using so far. You know, they break the Kossovite Dervishes off, and now I decide to leave my horsemen to deal with the Snow Leopards, while I'll send the Carrion to shut down more squads of Streltsy and just be a genuine pain in the backside. He does get support from his fellow Goblin player. A little bit annoying, but at the end of the day, it does the job. It's fine. We'll deal with them too. As you can see, you know, the Chosen the Gods already back up to like 1300 gold, making their own cost already. We start moving Kartep up because I want to start using his magic. You know, I used the Cursed Blades over there to make them win this even harder. And I've took no damage, lost no models, and killed 55 units. Already 500 gold. I won't spoil what happens to them later, but they do leave a sour taste in my mouth. Was unfortunate, but as you can see here, you know, the Tomb Guard, I'm just getting them to hold. I just want them to hold the Zargard. The Khepra Guard will wipe them up afterwards. I just want to deal with everything else. You know, the Khepra Guard will go into these Armoured Kossars now. These Carrion will run into this Streltsy, stop them from shooting. That Streltsy's not being able to shoot. At the end of the day, I'm not planning to win by killing everything straight off the map. I just want to shut down as much range as he's got. You know, these guys are now 1500 gold. As you can see, you know, one Snow Leopard's been pushed off. Those Dervishes ain't going to like being shot whatsoever. And then this Snow Leopard running in is, I'm guessing, I didn't see it, but he does come out in a minute to try and flank Kartep. I use my Ishtabi summon here just to tie these Night Goblins down a little bit longer. And as you can see, my Tomb Guard, you know, they get worked. The Zargard, the Streltsy, both sides. But I am slowly shutting down all of his range. You know, my Khepra Guard, I've lost no models so far. And, you know, they've killed 85 in return. They're now working these ones as well. We send the Chosen of the Gods in to get into a bit of melee. Break up the lines a little bit. So the Ashtabi break the Night Goblins, as I knew they were going to. But the Goblins now having the issue with Soul Grinders of Nurgle. Not only are they disgusting in shooting, but now you've got to deal with them in melee too. So yeah, the Snow Leopard does manage to catch me, but obviously I used the physical resistance. I know to give myself a bit of extra damage. But I'm happy for the Snow Leopard to try and keep hitting me from behind, because I'll dispatch the Skeleton Archers and the Neckar Horsemen to just peel him off, keep him away. I start using a magic here because I started to amass quite a bit of wins and magic, just because I was out of range of pretty much everything but buffing squads every now and then. So I just wanted to start actually getting the spells out. You know, we're up to 1500 gold, not bad. The Khepra Guard, we've lost 2 so far, but they're now up to 136 kills. The Tomb Guard over here are holding the Tsar Guard, which is all I really sort of need them to do. I have no interest in trying to kill Boyer at the minute. I'm just trying to chip away at the other stuff. The way I see it is I try to win my side as hard as possible. At the end of the day, in team games, you're not going to win every game by demolishing your opponent. Sometimes your allies will get demolished. I mean, look at my Ogre player, he got absolutely worked. Really didn't stand a chance. But, you know, it happens. Some people are learning. Some people have drafted a bit of a bad build and didn't expect what they were sort of playing against. But I'm all for it. I don't take it very sourly. At the end of the day, it's not like we're playing ranked or anything like that. People are out here to learn. The Chosen of the Gods, I'm now using them to punch in melee because that's really all the value they've got now because they've not got any ammo. So I'm more than happy just to let them try and chop into the Tsar Guard. I mean, 1800 gold is nothing to laugh at. That's another good shot on there. Nearly up to 100 kills, 1600 gold. The Khepra Guard, they're just massacring everything in the back line, making sure nothing comes back. They really are the sort of ace piece up my sleeve. As long as I keep the Khepra Guard alive, my plan was that, you know, from there's not really much that'll be able to deal with them when they're this full HP. So we're going to fast forward a little bit because I don't want to keep you here for 17 years watching this. You know, we're breaking off Streltsy. I could have stopped shooting those Streltsy now, if I'm honest, and changed. A bit of mismarker there, as you saw. And I managed to really massacre my own horsemen there. So, not the best, but these things can't be helped. You know, the Khepra Guard, the Tsar Guard don't stand a chance. Being absolutely worked, especially when they're that injured compared to the Khepra Guard. You know, 210 kills now. He does try and run his Goblin Great Shaman and the Snow Leopards into me in sort of like a gooning attempt, I guess, to try and, you know, break leadership, break stuff away. But I'm more than happy to take the Goblin Great Shaman, and I'm pretty sure I used a squad of Neckar Horsemen to chase the Great Shaman down, not wanting it to get away. So yeah, I use one squad to sort of annoy the Snow Leopard and send this squad to make sure that the Shaman doesn't come back. And I try and refocus my forces a little bit. I should have been more clever with my ammunition. That's what sort of let me down. A lot of my shots sort of just hit and killed a couple of Streltsy because they were quite low anyway, whereas there would have been no need for me to shoot them. So this is the sad part of Total War that I quite dislike, where people sort of just run away constantly. So, you know, they're just sort of running around the map trying to avoid fighting because they know they're about to lose this one. Well played to my Tzeentch opponent. He manages to catch me here. I didn't expect him to be holding his army ability, the tier 3 one as well. So I group up, thinking I can take the fight. Obviously, my Neckar Horseman over here have managed to chase off the Shaman, but he's really trying to goon my Lord. So I managed to pull back in here, and then I think, right, you know, I'll take this fight, and then my Khepra Guard get absolutely annihilated by that. He spends that army ability and a bolt to kill me. Quite unfortunate. But yeah, the Khepra Guard surprisingly take that, they're dying, and they still put in work here, chipping away HP. You know, really cannot express how good they were. And then, as you can see, we get a sort of last stand here. But the Soul Grinders, I mean, Kugaf's still got 6,000 HP. You know, he's got Cloud of Floors. Is he healing as well? He's managed to pop buffs on himself. Arcane Conduit. Yeah, he's got a lot of regen left as well. So, I don't see any way they sort of win at this point. And as you can see, you know, they break Village off. And then just to fast forward to end it, both Soul Grinders chopping away, Screamers die. They just have to break the next one. But I prefer it. Me personally, I know if I'm going to lose. It's only a normal game. I'll just go all out and do the fight. I'm not a massive fan of this sort of running around trying to pick units off. I know it's still strategy, and I'm all for strategy, but I tend to not take it that seriously. I'm all for it in sort of tournament gameplay and stuff like that, but not as much in this. So, we've got 2,400 value on Cartet, 2,255 on the Ishtarbi, nearly 2,000 on them. Some of the Tomb Guard definitely didn't play for themselves. Probably could have done with just more spearmen. Good on that Neckar Horseman, a bit of damage on them. Happy with the carrion, they shut down the range units when I needed them to. And I probably could have done with maybe getting rid of as many Tomb Guards, go a bit wider on the skeletons, and maybe picking some of the sepulchral stalkers or something like that, just some anti-large shooting in response to a snow leopard. Right, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.